Boris Johnson has shared the insight he gained into the Queen's health when he met with her just 2 days before she died last Thursday. The former PM told how she had been absolutely on it, despite appearing ill during the meeting. He had his final audience with the Queen in Balmoral Castle on September 6, during which he formally tendered his resignation to her. The MP said she remained actively focused on both world and UK politics, despite being clearly not well. Mr Johnson was the 14th Prime Minister of the Queen's 70-year reign. He added that he was moved by her sense of duty during their meeting, and that her death was a colossal thing for him. Boris Johnson shares touching details of final meeting with Queen, clearly not well, image. PA, Mr Johnson said she was still bright despite being clearly not well, image, Getty. He told the BBC, one of the reasons it was so shocking on the 8th to hear about her death was because in that audience she had been absolutely on it. Just 2 days before her death. She was actively focused on geopolitics, on UK politics, quoting statesmen from the 50s, it was quite extraordinary. She seemed very bright, very focused. Look, she was clearly not well. I think that was the thing I found so moving when we all heard about her death 2 days later. I just thought how incredible that her sense of duty had kept her going in the way that it had, given how ill she obviously was, how amazing that she should be so bright and so focused. So it was a pretty emotional time. Mr Johnson added that his meetings with the Queen were fantastic, image, Getty, Queen Elizabeth death, updates as tributes flood in from around globe. The Queen has died, surrounded by her loved ones, as tributes pour in from across the globe. The UK will now enter a 10-day period of mourning, with the Queen's funeral being held on the 10th day. Read all the tributes pouring in for the Queen here. Mr Johnson announced his resignation following a litany of scandals, including being the first Prime Minister in history to be found to have broken the law, alongside multiple allegations of corruption and breaking the ministerial code. He has been prominent among politicians paying tribute to the Queen after her death. In an earlier interview, presenter Fiona Bruce asked Mr Johnson if he was ever too busy to attend his weekly audience with the Queen. Mr Johnson responded, "No, you must be joking," adding that his regular meetings with the Queen were a fantastic break from everything else and a wonderful moment of tranquility. Asked if the subject of the rule-breaking parties held at Downing Street during COVID, which made Mr Johnson the first Prime Minister in history to be found breaking the law, ever came up, he said that because of her great sense of constitutional function she never got into that sort of conversation. Read more. Huge queue in Edinburgh as mourners rush to see Queen's coffin, reveal, Mr Johnson signing the proclamation of King Charles III, image, Getty, trending. He added, she was really absolutely focused on what she saw as the important issues. It's a very trusting environment, the audience with Her Majesty. So that never came up. The former PM went on to refer to the sweep of progress over the past 70 years, saying, "That's why I think she should be Elizabeth the Great, by the way, because look at what happened to this country in her reign. The immeasurably advances in prosperity and opportunity and longevity, whatever your metric is,